Hi there, I am Hernandez in R. I'm here to tackle about the four economic resources, namely the land, labor, and capital, and also the entrepreneurship. Here first, the land. In economics, land comprises all naturally occurring resources whose supply is inherently fixed. Examples are any and all particular geographical location, mineral deposits, and even geostationary orbit location and portions of the electromagnetic spectrum. Natural resources are fundamental to the production of all goods, including capital goods. Location values must not be confused with values imparted by fixed capital improvements. In classical economics, land is considered as one of the three factors of production. Along with capital and labor, in some cases land may be merged with capital due to the relatively small importance that land has in industrial and service sectors. Income derived from ownership or control of natural resources is referred to as rent. Land was sometimes defined in classical and neoclassical economics as the original and indestructible powers of the soil. Is a tangible asset. Land is represented in accounting as a fixed asset or a capital asset. Land, particularly geographic location and mineral deposits, has historically been the cause of much conflict and dispute. Land reforms programs, which are designed to redistribute possession and or use of geographic land, are often the cause of much controversy and conflicts over the economic rent of rental deposits have contributed to many civil wars, particularly in Africa. Here, in labor economics seeks to understand the functioning and dynamics of the markets for wage labor markets function through the interaction of workers and employers. Labor economics looks at the suppliers of labor services. The demands of labor services is the attempts to understand the resulting pattern of wages, employment, and income. In economics, labor is a measure of the work done by human beings. It is conventionally contrasted with such other factors of production as land and capital. There are theories which have developed a concept called human capital, referring to the skills that workers possess, not necessarily their actual work. Although there are also counterposing macroeconomic system theories that think human capital is a contradiction in terms. Demands for labor and wages determination. Labor demand is a derived demand that desiring labor is not desired for its own sake, but because it aids the producing output, which contributes to the employer's revenue and hence profits. The demand for additional amount of labor depends on the marginal revenue product (MRP), and the marginal cost (MC) of the worker. The MRP is calculated by multiplying the price of the end product service by the marginal physical product of the worker. The MRP is greater than a firm's marginal cost, then the firm will employ the worker, since doing so will increase profit. The firm only employs, however, up to the point where MRP equals to MC, and not beyond in economic theory. Wage difference exists, particularly in mixed and partly flexible labor markets. For example, the wages of a doctor and a port cleaner, both employed by the NHS, differ greatly. But why? There are many factors concerning this issue. This includes the MRP. the worker. A doctor's MRP is far greater than that of the port cleaner. In addition, the barriers to become a doctor are far greater than the becoming a port cleaner. For example, to become a doctor take a lot of education and training which is costly. And only those who excel in academia can succeed in becoming doctors. The port cleaner, however, requires minimal training. The supply of doctors, therefore, will be much more inelastic than the supply of port cleaners. The demand will also be inelastic, as there is a high demand for doctors and medical care as necessary. So the NHS will pay higher rates to attract the profession. The MRP of the worker is affected by other inputs to production, with which the worker can work often, aggregated under the term capital. It is typically an economics model for greater availability of capital for a firm to increase the MRP of the worker. All else equal, the education and training noted in the last paragraph are counted as a human capital, since the amount of physical capital affected MRP, and since financial capital flows can affect the amount of physical capital available. MRP and those wages can be affected by financial capital flows between countries and the degree of capital mobility within the between. In capital and in economics, capital goods, real capital or capital assets are already produced, durable goods, or any non-financial assets that is used in productions of goods or services. Some accounting regimes, such as a triple bottom line, include definition of natural capital and social capital, in which ecosystems and social relations are defined as capital assets. Control of capital is the primary means of creating wealth. The broader definition of wealth is used in all systems of accounting and in all definitions of asset types. The capital goods are not significantly consumed, though they may depreciate in the production process. How a capital good or asset is maintained, or regrown or returned to its pre-production state varies based on type of capital involved. Manufactured or physical capital is distinct from land or natural capital, in that capital must itself be produced by human labor before it can be a factor of production. At any given moment in time, total physical capital may be referred to as the capital stock. In a fundamental sense, capital consists of any produced thing that can enhance a person's power to perform economically useful work. A stone or an arrow is capital for a caveman who can use it as a hunting instrument, and roads are capital for inhabitants of a city. Capital is an input in the production functions. Homes and personal houses are not usually defined as capital but as a durable goods because they are not used in production or sellable goods and service. The division between the capital and durable goods is set in an accounting regime and depends on the types of styles of capital that are recognized as capital assets and the types of goods and services that are recognized as economics. Last, the entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurial economics is a study of the entrepreneur and entrepreneurship within the economy. The accumulation of factors of production per se does not explain economic development. They are necessary inputs to production, but they are not sufficient for economic growth. Human creativity and productive entrepreneurship are needed to combine these inputs in profitable ways. Enhance an institutional environment that encourages free entrepreneurship becomes the ultimate determinant of economic growth. Thus, the entrepreneur and entrepreneurship should take center stage in any effort to explain long-term economic development. Early economic theory, however, did not pay proper attention to the entrepreneur. If the entrepreneurship remains as important to the economy as ever, then the continuing failure of mainstream economics to equitably account for entrepreneurship indicates that fundamental principle require re-evaluation. The characteristics of an entrepreneurial economies are high levels of innovation combined by high level of entrepreneurship, which result in the creation of new ventures as well as new sectors of industries. Entrepreneurship is difficult to analyze using traditional tools of economics, calculus and general equilibrium models. Current textbooks have only passing references to concept of entrepreneurship and entrepreneur equilibrium. Models are central to mainstream economics and exclude. Okay, that's it. Thank you. That's all.